The peace that had endured for 235 years had failed. As the Iyanden Guardians abandoned their outpost, the Imperial Guards rejoiced. Prematurely. "Ooh-la!" the voices rang out, and the guards fled. Now only the mighty metal warlords could determine the fate of Icarus V. So welcome to One Man, Two Cups presents I Am One Man. This scenario has been designed as a simple 3-on-3 duel. With this in mind, the scenery and the terrain have been kept sparse. There are no objectives as such. The battle is won when the opposition decide they've had enough or are obliterated. I will be using the Epic 40k 2nd edition rules. Although flawed in part, they are still workable and are my favourite as they're what I grew up with. The weapon loadouts are by no means built for optimal or competitive play. They are simply the weapons I like the look of on the model at the time that I painted them. Hopefully, however, this makes for an interesting matchup for my first filmed battle report. Firstly, we'll be taking a look at the forces on each side, followed by some thoughts on how each Titan may be employed during the conflict. Then we'll have a quick look at the battlefield before jumping into the battle itself. After, I will give a brief summary of my thoughts on the battle before signing off. So a quick reference on the dice if you want to follow the rolls. The Iyanden Craftworld symbol on the yellow Eldar dice represents a 6, whilst on the blue dice the symbol represents a 1. For our first Elder Titan, we have the Phantom Titan Vol's Shadow. Vol's Shadow has a tall, slender silhouette, a move of 20 centimeters, and a close combat factor of 12. Being agile, all Elder Titans can make as many turns during their movement as they wish. As with all Elder Titans, Vol's Shadow can repair any damage systems in the end phase of each round by rolling a 4 or more on a d6. Vol's Shadow is also equipped with the Elder Titan's standard hollow field system for defense. This makes the Titan harder to hit the more it's moving about. If on first fire orders, the Titan gains a chance that any shot will miss 4+ on a d6. If on advanced orders, this increases to 3 or more, and if the Titan is charging, any shots will miss the Titan on a roll of a 2 or more on the d6. For his weaponry, Vol's Shadow carries one of each of the standard wing weapon mounts for the Elder Titans. Firstly, a missile launcher, which uses a barrage template and has 4 barrage points with a range of 100 centimeters. And secondly, a las cannon, which has 75 range, 2 attack dice with a 3+ to hit and a -2 save modifier. For his main armament, Vol's Shadow carries 2 pulsar lasers. Each laser fires once, and if it hits, inflicts d6 hits on its target. The laser has a range of 100 centimeters. It will hit on a 2+ and impose a -2 save modifier. Each laser can also be employed using a template, and each unit under the template must save at -2 or be destroyed. Our second Phantom Titan is Kurnos the Doomfire. He has the same capabilities as Vol's Shadow and also carries one of each of the standard shoulder mount weapons. For his first main weapon, Kurnos carries a Power Fist, which has batteries of shuriken cannons mounted into its knuckles. These have a range of 50 centimeters, 4 attack dice. They hit on a 4+ with a saving throw modifier of -1. The Power Fist can also be used in close combat to rip bits off his opponent. If Kronos wins a close combat against an opponent, roll off a d6 against your opponent, adding +1 for Kronos. If Kronos wins, he can choose the hit location and cause maximum damage to said location. If it is a draw, roll on the damage chart as normal, and if Kronos loses, then no damage is caused to the opposing Titan. Last but not least, Kronos' second primary weapon is the Distortion Cannon. Firstly, use a barrage template to represent the hole created by the cannon ripping through the fabric of reality. The cannon is wildly inaccurate, so roll for scatter twice before placing the template. Now roll for each infantry or vehicle unit under the template. On a crosshair, it is destroyed. If not destroyed, it is scattered d6 in the direction of the scatter arrow. Titans are too large to be destroyed by the Distortion Cannon, but will automatically be scattered. Ishar the Oracle's Wrath is our final Elder Titan, and she is a Warlock Titan. Warlock Titans contain the spirits and souls of many long-lost Elder Seers, and this imbues the Titan with its mighty psychic abilities. Ishar carries one of each of the standard Elder wing weapons and the familiar Elder hollow fields. Ishar also carries 2 psychic lances. Each of these fires 1 barrage template. Normally anything under the template is hit on a 5 or 6, but if used by a Warlock Titan, the chance to hit increases to a 4, 5 or 6. The lance's power bypasses any armour and fries any living opponent's brain. The effects of a hit against a Titan is to cause 1 head hit on the Titan's template. Once per turn, Ishar can use one of the following psychic powers in addition to her normal action. Doom. This has a range of 50 centimeters and targets 1 model. Anyone targeting said model will hit it on a 3+. A Titan has a 4+ save against being doomed. Secondly, Witch Sight. All enemies that are targeting the Titan suffer a -1 hit modifier. Anyone fighting a close combat against the Warlock Titan rolls 1 less dice. Thirdly, Mind Shout. This ability forces all enemy units within 25 cm range of the Titan to pass a morale check or immediately go on fallback orders. A roll of a 1 on the morale check always fails. Lastly, a Warlock Titan doesn't have to choose its orders for the turn until after the roll for initiative has been made and the orders count as revealed. Some quick thoughts on the Elder Titans. Firstly, Vol Shadow. Vol Shadow's strength lay in its ranged capability. His pulsars can either be used on first fire if any opposing Titan has ranged to him to get the first shots in, or it can be used on advanced orders to gain the advantage, the bonus to save from the hollow shields if he's moving. Kronos will be more effective at medium to short range, with his shoulder and fist weapon providing medium range cover. His Power Fist also means he's more than capable of taking on the Reaver Titans in close combat. His Distortion Cannon is nigh on useless in this scenario, as Titans cannot be sucked into the warp. Ishar the Warlock Titan is a precision killing machine. If she gets within 50 centimeters of another Titan, then her side weapons spell doom, bypassing any void shields. Witch Sight should help her if she's engaged in close combat, and her ability to see and react to orders should keep her out of trouble. So overall, having the Agile trait, the Eldar are more manoeuvrable than their counterparts. They also outgun the Imperial Titans. On the weaker side, their shields can be bypassed by a single lucky shot, and they're not as good in close combat as their counterparts. Solaris is the first of our Reaver Titans. is a move of 20 centimeters and a close assault factor of 12. Solaris is equipped with 4 void shields. Each time the Titan is hit, one of his void shields is depleted. All 4 void shields must be taken offline before an opponent can strike damage to the Reaver Titan's template. Solaris can attempt to repair each void shield lost in the end phase of the turn by rolling a 4+ on a d6. Solaris carries 3 multi-rocket launchers that have a range of 100 centimeters. Each uses the template for the area effect of the damage and has 8 barrage points, which means anything under the template is hit on a 3+ with no save modifier. Our second Reaver Titan is Luminous. She carries a more varied and versatile loadout of armaments than her brother, although a move of 20, a close assault factor of 12 and 4 void shields are the same. In close combat, Luminous is equipped with a chain fist. This not only allows her to attack buildings, but also allows her to add an extra d6 when conducting a close combat battle round. It also adds +2 to any damage roll. At very short range, Luminous will employ her Vulcan Mega Blaster. This only has a range of 25 centimeters, but has 8 attack dice, all hitting on 4 or more. The third of the Titan's weapons is a plasma blast gun. This is a range of 50 centimeters with 2 attack dice. It hits on 3 or more on a d6 and induces a -4 penalty to opponent's saving throw. The plasma blast gun is slow to recharge and will only recharge 1 of its 2 attack dice each turn unless the Titan is on first fire orders, in which case both are recharged. Making up the Imperium force is Imperium himself, the Herald of Dawn, a mighty warlord Titan. With his bulkier size, Imperium has a larger template and a slower move than his Reaver Titan brethren at 15 centimeters. He carries 2 Gatling blasters as his primary range weapons. These have a range of 75 centimeters and 4 attack dice. They hit on a 5 or more and impose a -1 save penalty on any foe. Imperium is also fitted with a combat head, which bolsters his already impressive close assault factor to 17. His combat prowess is further enhanced by his wielding of 2 chain fists. Each adds an extra d6 in close combat and adds +2 to any damage rolls against any Titans. The chain fist can also be used to attack buildings. Imperium has 6 void shields that can be repaired as per the rules, 1 of 4 or more. So now some thoughts on the Imperial Titans. Solaris, our first Reaver Titan, is virtually used as a long-range first-fire weapons platform. Although normally his missile launchers would be targeting formations of infantry troops, the accuracy of the 3 shots may still be invaluable when targeting Eldar Titans and their hollow shields. Our second Reaver Titan, Luminous, is much more of an all-rounder. She carries a powerful medium-range plasma blaster, but would much prefer to unleash her multi-shot Vulcan Mega Blaster before engaging in close combat with an opponent. And lastly, the Warlord Titan Imperium. He carries 2 Gatling cannons which serve him well at medium range, but he would much prefer to charge directly into the enemy and unleash the fury of the Morning Star. A quick overview of the battlefield sees a lush green world dotted with outcrops of trees and a few hills. The road runs between the Imperial and Eldar outposts across a bridge spanning a fast-flowing river. A couple of high-rises also provide cover, while the rocky magma pools will slow anyone traversing them. Let's move on to the initial setup. I employed a third party to randomly place the Titans before the battle started. My only stipulation was that 3 started on one side of the table and that 3 started opposite. So round 1 begins. Firstly, orders are placed, then initiative is rolled, then the orders are revealed. Both sides roll a 6-sided dice and the Imperials score the highest, so win the initiative for the round. They make the Eldar move all of their units before reacting themselves with their moves. The Imperial forces will still get the opportunity to fire first in each shooting phase. Lastly, because of her special ability, Ishar can place or change her orders once all orders have been revealed. She chooses to remain on advanced orders. Round 1. Full Shadow moves forward in order to take advantage of his Hollow Shield bonus while anticipating a shoot-off with Solaris and his Tri-Launcher loadout. Likewise, both Kurnos and the Warlock Titan advance, waiting to see the next moves from the opposing Titans. In response, Solaris takes the time to aim at Vol from the top of the hill, and being on first fire orders will fire in the first fire shooting segment of combat. Luminous advances towards Kronos, who took a position next to the bridge, while Imperium strides forward at full charge pace to take cover behind the woods. He's trying to avoid the potential devastating psi weapons from Ishar, the Warlock Titan. The only first fire in round 1 is Solaris with his 3 missile launchers. He targets Full Shadow and is easily within 100 centimeters range. He hits on 3s, scoring 1 hit. Fortunately for Full Shadow, his hollow fields absorb the explosion. Having activated Solaris, there are no other Titans on first fire orders. We can skip the close combat phase this round, as there isn't any, so we move on to the advanced fire segment of combat. So Luminous is up next and targets Kronos. Her Vulcan Mega Blaster doesn't have the range, so she can only use her Plasma Blast Gun with its range of 50 centimeters. It has 2 attack dice and hits on 3+, scoring 1 hit. Again, the Eldar Holofield is effective at saving the Titan from sustaining the -4 hit to his superstructure. So now the Eldari get to act. Ishar, the Warlock Titan, with no line of sight to a preferred target of the Warlock Titan, sets her sights on Luminous. Firstly, Ishar tries to doom Luminous, but Luminous steals her mind and passes her psychic save of 4 or more. If she would have failed, shots would have hit her on a 3+. Now the Warlock Titan bears her psychic lances at the Reaver, needing 4 or more to hit with the 2 weapons. Scoring 1 hit, Luminous is forced to make another psychic save which she fails. This means she takes 1 automatic hit to the head. Rolling a 1 for the damage, we can see that Luminous's close combat assault factor is halved, and she must roll a 4, 5 or 6 before being able to be issued any orders in the orders phase. This is until repaired. Not content with the damage done so far, Ishar then unleashes her last cannons. Unfortunately, both miss. For her final activation, Ishar also fires her missile launcher, which also misses. Kronos is up next for the Eldar and attempts to pile on a load more hurt on the already damaged Luminous. He opens up with his shuriken catapults from his power fist. This has 4 shots that hit on a 4 or more. That's 2 hits, and 2 shields are forced to power down. He then fires his 2 last cannons, hitting and scoring on a 3+. He also has success with his barrage of missiles, needing a 5 or more. This leaves Luminous void of void shields. Lastly, he fires his distortion cannon. Rolling the required twice for accuracy, we determine that the template misses everything. The last action of the round sees Vul's Shadow seeking to exact revenge on Solaris for firing on him earlier in the round. With brutal firepower, he opens up with a salvo from his last cannon, followed by his missiles. Scoring a total of 2 hits, he leaves Solaris with only 2 shields left. Now comes his 2 pulsars. Both strike, needing only 2 or more, and inflict a total of 5 hits between them. This strips Solaris' remaining 2 shields and penetrates with 3. 3 rolls are now made on Solaris' template to determine the location of the penetrating pulsar hits. All are initially aimed at his head, but 2 deviate and hit his left weapon. Even at the -2 save modified to his rolls for the power of the impacting weapons, Solaris makes his 3 saves and takes no integral damage. All Titans have now acted in this turn. So now to the end phase of turn 1. Solaris rolls 4 dice for the void shields lost and recovers all 4. Luminous does the same and also recovers all of her shields. She also rolls for the repair of the psychic damage done to her head location by the Warlock Titan. This is also successfully repaired. With some good rolling for repairs, things are at a tentative stalemate before the start of the second round. So beginning of turn 2. Orders are placed and then initiative is rolled. Then the orders are revealed. The Warlock Titan then has the opportunity to change his orders. The Eldar win and make the Imperials move first. Solaris, being on first 5 orders, cannot move. Luminous strides forward towards Kronos on advanced orders, while the Warlord Titan charges out of cover and straight for Ishar. Kronos and Ishar both back away, ready to unleash their firepower in the advanced fire round, whilst Vul breaks the first round shooting engagement with Solaris and swings behind the building and ambushes the unsuspecting Luminous. For the first action of the second turn, again being the only Titan on the first 5 orders, Solaris seeks out a target for his 3 multi-missile launchers. Vul's Shadow has moved out of his line of sight behind the building, but with 100 cm range, Kronos is clearly visible in the distance up on the far hill. He scores 2 out of 3 hits for his accuracy, needing to roll 3s or above, but again the Elder Titan's hollow shields confuse his ordnance and they miss. Again in this turn there's no close combat, so winning the initiative, the Elder activate and fire a Titan first in this advanced fire phase of the round. Vul's Shadow is chosen. He opens up with his shoulder-mounted las cannons, followed by his missile launcher. He strips 3 and delivers 4 void shields. He then fires his 2 pulsars, scoring 1 hit. Rolling a d6, we can see that the pulsar generated 2 hits. The last of Luminous' shields has gone and 1 hit gets through. Vul targets the Reaver's plasma reactor, but the shot deviates upwards and strikes her plasma blast gun. The template location has a 2+ save. This is modified by the pulsar's -2 save modifier. Luminous fails the roll and she takes damage. With a damage roll of 2, this puts the weapon out of action until repaired. Next up, we have Luminous to act for the Empire of Man. With her plasma blast gun out of action, her only effective weapon is her Vulcan Mega Cannon, which is still just in range of the retreating Kronos on the hill. She unleashes its 8 to hit dice, scoring hits on a 4+, but the Emperor seems to have forsaken her, and all miraculously miss. Kronos now returns fire against Luminous. She has no shields. He first fires his 2 shoulder-mounted las cannons, which score 1 hit on a 3+. He aims for her legs, as they have weaker armour. Normally, the save for her would be 2+, but the las cannons impose a -2 penalty to save. Luminous now needs a 4+ and fails. Shot gets through. Her legs are now heavily damaged. She must roll a d6 in the end phase, subtracting 1 if she's on advance orders and 2 if she is charged. If the modified result is 0 or less, then she falls to the ground destroyed. Now Kronos fires his shoulder-mounted missile launcher. Luckily for Luminous, the shot goes wild. Now Kronos fires 4 shots from the shuriken cannons in his power fist. This scores 1 hit. Aiming at the weapon again, as it is weaker, unfortunately this scatters and misses its target. Lastly, he fires his distortion cannon, which scatters twice. The first roll is a hit, but the second scatters 10 centimeters away from Luminous, missing her. So the last action of turn 2 sees Ishar the Oracle's Wrath firing at the fastly approaching Warlord Titan. The Warlock's spirits focus on the mighty Warlord but are unable to doom him. This means shooting against the Imperium will be at the normal values for this turn. Firstly, Ishar fires her las cannons, needing a 4 or more to hit, followed by her missiles, needing a 5 or more, to try and soften up the void shields of the opposing giant. She scores 1 hit. Lastly, she draws her silencers to bear and scores 1 hit out of the 2, scoring the necessary 4 or more needed. Imperium is allowed a psychic save to avoid the mind blast to the head of a 4+. Unfortunately, he fails this and takes the hit. The damage roll indicates that the Imperial Titan has his close assault factor halved and that a roll of a 4+ is needed before he can issue himself any orders. He does get a chance to repair the damage in the end phase as per the rules for repairs. That's everyone acted in this round, so we can move to the end phase. Firstly, Luminous fails to repair the damage caused by Vul's pulsars on her plasma blaster, so they are still out of action this round. She now rolls to see if her leg snaps from the las cannon damage caused by Kronos. She passes a d6 test with the -1 modifier, scoring more than the required modified result of 0, so she stumbles on. She does, however, fail to repair the damage, so must test again in the next end phase. She then rolls for her down shields, and 3 out of the 4 come back online. Lastly, for repairs we have Imperium. Needing a 4 or more to repair, he fails to repair the hit from Ishar's silences. He will have to roll a 4+ before he can be issued any orders. He also fails to recover his lost void shield, so will remain on 5. This ends round 2. Orders are placed for round 3 and initiative is rolled for. The morning star shines on the Legion's Titans and they win the initiative roll. They choose to act first. Ishar stays on first fire orders whilst Imperium passes damage test so can implement his orders as usual. Moving first, both Luminous and Imperium charge their respective targets. Luminous charges Kronos on the hill, and Imperium charges his nemesis Ishar. Solaris comes down off the hill onto the road for a better line of sight to the battlefield. Vul then swings round to face Solaris. Having advanced off the hill for more shooting options, Solaris fires at Vul, who has turned back to face off with him, trusting in his own powerful pulsar lasers. 2 of the 3 barrages hit their mark, while the 3rd is negated by the Eldar hollow shields. He targets the legs of Vul, determining that these are weaker and his shots would have a better chance of penetrating than if he were to target the more heavily protected reactor unit. Both shots are direct hits. Vul fails one of his 2+ saves. The resulting roll for damage is a 6. Indicating that Vul's leg is blown apart and that the Titan crashes to the ground in a random direction. Troops and vehicles caught beneath are destroyed. Even though ablaze from both her leg and carapace weapon damage, Luminous gauges that her best chance of overcoming Kronos is in close combat, so risks all, initiating her first close combat of the encounter. Luminous rolls her 3d6 against Kronos, having a chain fist. Kronos rolls 2d6. Both add their close assault factor of 12. Luminous scores a meagre 6 total on the 3 die for a total of 18. Kronos rolled 9 on only 2 die for a higher score of 21. This means Kronos wins and can use his power fist. Rolling off again, Kronos must beat a d6 roll made by Luminous, adding +1 to his score to enable him to choose a hit location on Luminous and to deal it maximum damage. He wins this roll and chooses Luminous's head. He rips it off, sending her crashing to the ground in a random direction. The last action of turn 3 sees the most powerful Titans on each side match up. The Warlock Titan, anticipating a charge from Imperium, wisely chose first fire orders this round, so she gets to fire her ordnance at the onrushing warlord before close combat begins. Ishar fails to hit both of her 2 side lances, needing 4+ with each. This is a huge let-off for Imperium. All 3 of her shoulder-mounted weapons do strike the encroaching warlord, draining 3 of his void shield banks. However, shields count for nothing in the ensuing close combat. Ishar can employ one power in the combat phase, so he employs Witch Sight against Imperium. This reduces combat powers by one of his d6s. The damage already taken means Imperium's close combat factor is halved. I've included the combat heads bonus first, which means it also suffers this penalty, but I am allowing a rounding up after. So close combat factor, including the +3 bonus for combat head, is 17, halved, this is 8.5, and then rounded up, this is 9. Imperium normally rolls his normal 2d6 plus extra 2d6 for his 2 chain fists. However, as he is under the influence of Witch Sight, this reduces his d6 by 1. After all this math, we end up with a CAF, as close assault factor, of 9 plus 3d6. He rolls a meagre 6, so has a total of 15. Ishar rolls a standard 2d6 and adds a 12 close assault factor for a total of 22. A win and a chance to pick a location and roll for damage against the Imperium. Ishar headbutts him in the already damaged head, leaving his already sustained injuries unrepairable for the rest of the game. So ending round 3, we've lost a Titan from each side. Solaris on full shields suffered no damage this round as he dispatched full shadow before he could shoot back. Imperium succeeded in repairing the lost void shield he lost in the second round, and 2 of the 3 lost in this round, but the damage to his head has only been exacerbated this turn by another blow to it, and now it is unrepairable. Round 4 opens with orders being given to the 2 Titans not engaged in close combat. The Eldar win the initiative roll and orders are revealed. Kronos on charge orders joins a Warlock Titan against the damaged Imperium, while Solaris advances around the hill for a better line of sight across the battlefield. Our only combat action of round 4 takes place within the very shadow of the Eldar outpost. Outnumbering Imperium, the Eldar choose firstly to attack with the Warlock Titan. Using Witch Sight, which there is no save for, again the same maths are applied as the round before. Imperium rolls his 3 dice, scoring an amazing 16. He then adds his reduced close combat factor due to the damage, for a total of 25. Ishar rolls her 2d6 and adds 6 to her 12 close assault factor, for a total of 18. Imperium punches through the Warlock's chest area, ripping out the Wraithstone, instantly destroying her. Now he turns to fight a second combat against the Elder Titan Kronos. Shaking off the Witch Sight, Imperium can now roll his full 4d6. Unfortunately, he only scores a meagre 10, for a total of 19. Kronos gets an extra d6, as Imperium was outnumbered in this combat, so he rolls 3d6 and scores a 12, for a total of 22. This time, the damaged Warlord loses and takes a hit. Rolling off and winning against the Warlord, Kronos can employ his Power Fist to apply maximum damage to a hit location. He reaches in and extracts the Warlord's already damaged cerebral cortex, finishing him. This concludes round 4, as there are no repair rolls to make in this end phase. At the beginning of round 5, we can see that there are only 2 Titans remaining. Orders are given and initiative rolled. Kronos decides to charge into Solaris and dispatch him in the same manner as he had done to the other Imperial Titans. Solaris will try to gun him down in this classic movie moment. Kronos' movement is hampered by terrain, so will not make it this round. Solaris opens fire. So all 3 of Solaris' barrages of missiles hit their target. They needed 3 or more. As Kronos is on charge orders, his hollow shields are at their most effective, saving him from hits on 2 or more. Seeing only a shifting blur coming towards him, all 3 of Solaris' barrage hits are misdirected effectively. Let's head straight into round 6. Being on first fire orders, Solaris gets to fire first one last time as Kronos powers into him. Desperately now, Solaris reloads and fires his spread of missiles, and again scores all 3 hits, scoring 5s. This time, one of his hits gets through the shifting Elder shields, so Solaris gets to choose a position on his opponent's template. Aiming for the Eldari's left leg, a direct hit is scored. Kronos then makes his hit location save of a 2 or more. This means he's weathered the onslaught of Solaris' ranged attack. Seeming inevitable, this battle will be determined with a final Titan close combat duel. So the conclusion of the battle comes down to an even slogging match between the last 2 huge machines. Both have a close assault factor of 12 and roll the standard 2 combat dice. Both roll a 10, so again there is nothing between them. We continue into round 7. So round 7 sees Solaris win the vital next close combat round with a roll of a 10 opposed to a roll of a 6 by Kronos. He aims for Kronos' reactor and rolling a 5 explodes it, finally bringing down the last giant. This leaves him standing alone on the battlefield, victorious. So some quick final thoughts. So the Legion of the Morning Star triumphed marginally, a close fought encounter with some interesting rolls on both sides. I like the fact that this came down to a chase down. It reminded me of the movies where the antagonist takes pot shots as a hero dodges until able to cut his opponent down at close quarters. Except in this case, the Imperial Titans then went on to win the hand-to-hand combat and the contest. I've tried to make the video a little different from most of the content out there, so I hope you enjoyed it. Don't forget to do the likey and the subscribey thing if you'd like me to make more videos. Thanks again for watching and stay epic.